Let me tell you, Deadpool is such a popular character that I would be very surprised if he doesn't appear in a movie sooner or later, either as a character in another hero's movie or possibly by himself. I think with some characters, they feel at Marvel the best thing to do is introduce them in another movie, like in a Captain America or Thor or Hulk or something movie, and then when we see how popular they are, spin him off into his own movie. But those things have not yet been decided. Right now, they have so many things they're working on. They're thinking about a Doctor Strange movie, a Black Panther movie, an Ant-Man movie. There are so many things in the works. They just don't have enough time to do all the movies they want to do. And of course, then we need all the sequels, like a new Avengers and a new Iron Man and so forth.
Yeah. We'd like to see Edgar Wright direct Ant-Man. Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh. Oh, the young man right there. Hello. Hi.
My name's Connor. What made you do the decision to give up being president of Marvel?
Are you an investigative journalist, sir?
Well, I can't make it funny. I'm just going to tell you the truth. This will surprise the hell out of you, but I am not a businessman. And as president of Marvel, I had to act like a businessman. I had to go to long meetings where they discussed their 5-year plan. Now, I'm a guy who doesn't know what he's going to have for dinner tonight, but I got to think 5 years ahead for Marvel. And I wouldn't mind if they were planning what characters will we do in 5 years. But they were talking budget and finance and expenses, and I don't know that kind of stuff. So I didn't enjoy being a businessman. So that's why I resigned as president, and it's probably a good thing, because no sooner did I resign than they started making more money than ever.
Did you ever wish in those meetings you could turn into? Did you ever wish in those meetings you could turn into the Hulk?
No, you see, I shouldn't say this to you. I shouldn't say it in public, but I don't really believe in all these characters the way some people do. You see, there's a word called fiction. But I shouldn't say that. That may break some hearts in the audience, and make believe you hadn't heard that.
They're all real. They're all real. Gentlemen at the back.
Yeah, is there any, characters that you were disappointed in how they turned out in the movies?
Are there any characters that you were disappointed in the way they turned out in the films?
I would have liked the Hulk in the first 2 movies to be a little smaller. I thought they made him too big. I would have liked, what was the other one? Now I forgot. There was another one. No, wait, I'll think. Well, talk to each other for a minute. There was something else. No, I'm going to tell you, Daredevil. They just wrote the whole thing wrong. They made him... I love the character, but they made him too tragic, and that stuff with where he slept in that thing like a coffin and all those church scenes, and he was so miserable. That wasn't the Daredevil that I had in mind when I wrote him, but I think they're working on a new Daredevil movie, and I think it'll be a lot better. So don't suspend judgment till the next movie. Oh, I know the other thing I wanted to say. I wasn't happy with the way Dr. Doom was portrayed in the Fantastic Four. But to overcome that difficulty, I thought that my cameos in the Fantastic Four were wonderful.
Hello, the young woman there. Hello.
Hi, Stan. Do you have any new superheroes kicking around in your head right now?
Yeah. I have a very strange situation. I'm still deeply involved with Marvel and with Disney, but I also have a little company of my own called POW Entertainment. That's P-O-W, and I know you've all figured out by now that it stands for Purveyors of Wonder. And we at POW are working on a number of new superhero movies. One of them features, the first one we're doing features a Chinese superhero. It's not a Chinese movie. It's a movie for the whole world, like all of them, but it stars a Chinese hero, and a lot of it takes place in China. And I think you will say when you see it, you've never seen anything like it. It's called The Annihilator.
You heard it here.
And we're working on another movie with one of the studios about, well, I don't think I'm allowed to talk about that because the studio wants to make the first. No, we're working on 2 others with other studios. You'll read about them soon. And we have a live action spectacular show in Macau in Asia, because that was the only place we could find a theater big enough. It's a show like the Cirque du Soleil, but it's more superhero based, and it's the only show where the audience is part of the show. You will read about that in about a year and a half. And we're working on other little stuff, but I don't want to bore you with that. But yes, I am working on superheroes. I like to write every type of thing, but whenever I go to a movie studio and say I have an idea for a movie, they say, what kind of superhero is it? And if I tell them it's not a superhero movie, they get disappointed and they're not interested. So I don't need a house to fall on me. I just do superheroes.
We just have time for a few more questions. Is that a Thor? Yay! Hey, Thor. Aw, the cutest Thor right there. You want to wave?
Oh, wait, I don't know what I'm waving at.
Hi, my name is Kelly.
Oh, really?
And
I'm also half blind. Where's the kid? Show
I
me.
just wanted to ask, how did you get the idea to come up with the movie Thor?
With
I
Thor?
didn't hear any of that.
Where did you get the idea for Thor?
You know, who knows really where any ideas come from. I was looking for a new character. We had already done the Fantastic Four and Spiderman and the X-Men and on and on. And I figured I want to get something that's even bigger and better and stronger. Well, who could be stronger than the Hulk? Who could be, and I thought, why not a god? So the Roman gods and the Greek gods had been done a lot. And you know me, I like to blaze new trails. So I figured I'll try the Norse gods. And I liked the idea of Thor having that hammer. That hammer was so great. So I figured I'll do that. I didn't know that when I started the book and called him Thor, that people were going to make fun of the name and say, "Ooh, I fell down and hurt myself. I'm so Thor." Everybody would say little jokes about it. But now I have something very serious to tell you, so I want your undivided attention. I want to talk about the difference scientifically, because somebody earlier mentioned science, between DC and Marvel. I want to show you why Marvel is so much more technically and scientifically advanced. You've all seen Superman. Now, Superman can fly. How does he fly? He has no visible means of propulsion. He just goes like this, and he flies. Marvel is a lot more scientific. When I wanted Thor to fly, I had him wrap a leather thong between the hammer and his wrist, and he twirls the hammer around like a propeller, as only a thunder god can. And then he lets go of the hammer. Well, the hammer goes flying off, but he's attached to it at the wrist, so he goes with it. A valid scientific explanation. You may make notes if you wish.
This is the last question. Do you feel the pressure? Go ahead, sir.
I was just wondering, why did you decide on the pen name Stanley?
Why did you decide on the pen name Stanley?
Oh. You know, that's very funny. I used to have a real name. My name was Stanley Martin Lieber. And I used to practice signing it. It looked so good. I had a great signature. It looked like it belonged on the bottom of the Declaration of Independence. And I was proud of it. But when I started writing comics, oh, that was way back in 40-something, nobody had any respect for comics. And frankly, I was embarrassed to tell people what I did. I'd go to a party, and somebody would come over to me and say, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" And I knew what to expect. So I'd say, "Well, I'm a writer," and I'd start to walk away. But they'd follow me. "Really? What do you write?" I'd say, "Well, stuff for children," and I'd walk a little further. "Really? What kind of stuff?" Sooner or later, I had to say comic books, and they would turn around and walk away from me as though I had the plague. So, I might add, incidentally, today it's different. Today I'm at a party, somebody will see me and say, "Excuse me, President Obama, but I gotta go talk to Stanley." But that didn't answer the question yet. So I was so embarrassed doing comics that I didn't want to use my real name because I thought someday I would write the great American novelist, Stanley Lieber. So I cut my first name in half and I made it Stan Lee. But as I stayed in the business and the books became well known and they started selling and the name Stan Lee became well known, finally I really had to change it legally to Stan Lee because that's the name everybody knew me as. And it's really a dumb name. I wish I could change it back, but it's too late now.
Do you all like the name?
Well, then I won't change it on account of you. We gotta wrap up. Is there anything else I want to say? No, I didn't even want to say what I did say.
Your birthday's coming up in December. Anything in particular you want?
Oh, I hate birthdays. I tell you why I hate birthdays. Or any holidays. I am a compulsive answerer. Somebody sends me an email or a letter, I feel I've got to answer. On my birthday, I get so many birthday cards. You can't, and a guy writes a whole message on it. You can't just throw it away, but I haven't got the time to answer it. So, anybody here that is impressed with my birthday, just think a nice thought, but please don't write to me, because I don't have time to answer. Okay?
How about we give Stan an early happy birthday on 1, 2, 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday!
Thank you. Hey, I gotta tell you, you're the greatest audience I ever spoke to. Thanks for putting up with me.
Stanley!
Excelsior!